Good evening, welcome to Damage Does D&D. Tonight, it's Tuesday, therefore it's Helloran Rising. So, the last we were here... Well, let's have Melissa fill us in.
I have no idea how things are going to look by the time we can stop and take a breath. Only so shortly after we had dealt with Amash's avatar, we realized that Carabas, the Dragon Eater, had escaped from her confinement, and Remora confirmed to me that she'd already started killing dragons. After returning to Dackhold, we spoke with Draneth, who revealed that Carabas was in fact his mother, Gus's grandmother. Is there anyone in this group without bad blood in their family? From my own problems with my sister and mother, to Celeste's betrothed and her brother, Trelador's entire family dynamic, both of Florian's parents, we all seem to have something sour, with Gus and Yarick now involved too. We would have to deal with her either way, so we set off as soon as we were rested enough, and we found her, formed as a dwarf by a campfire in the squeeze. Gus had headed off to scout ahead, and we saw him talking to her, though she seemed a little unstable. I was watching her try to manipulate Gus, using the same tactics I've seen Vale use in the past. I know Ferenz will chastise me for it later, but I felt I had to act before Gus was fully charmed by her. The battle was rough. I found myself being picked up by Celeste very soon after we had started. I found myself not able to withstand much of anything from attacks, but I suppose that's reasonable considering what we've been fighting. I called upon Remora again. She said that bringing people to their deaths isn't exactly what we do, but she made an exception for this time. I also saw reorcs and shine during the battle. Trenador seems to definitely have changed his allegiances. I doubt it was reorcs putting flowers in his hair. I think even Celeste called upon a god. I'm pretty sure I saw a fluffy rabbit tail on her at one point. I feel hesitant about our reliance on the gods still. Remora has been incredibly kind and helpful to me, but I don't know. The world seemed fine without most of them. My mind's constantly drifting to the tieflings being shipped to Dar, with whispers of fear around Snow and as the herald of Peladas. Concerns for another day, perhaps. Florian managed to make another foolish decision. He heavily damaged one of Carabas's eyes, drawing her ire. She swallowed his body at one point, and with Yarick flying down her gullet after him, me and Trelador cut open Carabas's stomach to free him, as Yarick returned Florian to life. She crushed him straight again after. I think Yarick will run out of magic before he ran out of diamonds for that spell, which is a slight comfort. I was worried we wouldn't succeed against Carabas, but eventually Madame Miette managed to strike her daggers true and send the Dragon Eater crashing, though she almost flattened Ferenz. Madame Miette didn't seem too happy about to be soaked with blood, however. With the dust settling, Ferenz and Gus gave Carabas some respect, with Remora appearing personally to promise that she and Shine would ensure she would move on, freed from her despicable hunger and chaos. I don't think I'd give such grace to Trelador, however. During the battle, I was starting to respect him a little again, but as soon as Carabas was dead, he couldn't care less for Florian being able to barely walk. I had to help him until Ferenz was free to carry him properly for me. I do wonder why Trelador even bothers traveling with us. He clearly has a lot of trauma and hate to work through, but it's made it very obvious he doesn't respect us at all, even when we try to work with him, even when we think he may have learned a lesson. I'm honestly not sure if I'm happy fighting alongside him. I don't think any of us are willing to rely on him at all. I might have a chat with Florian about this. I don't want his heart being played with by Trelador. He deserves better. We decided, after the battle, to rest nearby, with Yarick invoking a spell that built an entire tavern in just about an hour. It was a warm space we needed to relax in, helped by the presence of reorcs giving us a round of ale on him. A deserved reward after such a harrowing battle. Come the morning, I think we'll be constructing a memorial to Carabas before considering our next moves. Which incredibly powerful deific being we find ourselves fighting next, I don't know.
Very nice.
Oh,
Very well put.
yeah.
So, with that in mind, you are all in the tavern. I can't remember exactly what you'd called it, but I'm sure it'll be...
It was,
Sorry?
Dragon's Head?
I suggested the Heart of the Dragon.
Yes, I
Which
believe
think
you were
didn't
workshopping.
Friends veto them though? Because it...
Good boy. So,
We can
you
do
are
that.
all inside, whatever you decide to name this place. Is there anything you would like to do before getting a night's rest? There is ale and food plenty.
I'm gonna summon a flock of bunnies.
A flock of bunnies. Is that what a collective noun for bunnies is?
I don't know.
They're flocking.
Is it a
It
mix?
is now.
Is it a mixomatosis of bunnies? Okay. You summon.
And just sit and sort of stroke them and play with them for the hour that they're there.
Okay. Yet. Roll a wisdom saving throw. Or do you wish to chase the bunnies all around the pub? I'm joking. Unless you really want to, then no, you can do that. If you want to kill the bunnies, you can kill the bunnies.
That won't go down well with Celeste, new patron. No, I was more thinking of the whole thing of yes, just sitting in the water, looking as aggressively miserable as any creature you can imagine, being wet.
I mean, it is warm water. There is
But it's water.
Yeah, there is that, I suppose.
But that was a 20. 30-20.
Yeah, you're fine. You feel that tickle of somebody speaking to you going, go on, kill the bunnies. Go on.
No, not in the mood.
You're no fun. The voice disappears again.
I'm just hoping in that time that I might get a visit from my new friend.
Well, you're kind of in a sort of interdimensional space, aren't you? So...
Yeah, I'll call it your tavern has cracks.
An interdimensional space dedicated to reorcs.
Yeah.
Right.
But you want to see me crack me yet? What are you on about?
Bend over.
I would have thought it automatically was there.
This place isn't very big, is it? So everyone's quite close to each other.
I mean,
It's,
I thought it was 60
it's
feet.
120 feet by 120 feet.
Where is Gus in relation to Yorick? I know they're kind of inseparable, but are they?
I don't know.
Gus and
No, Gus is sitting in a corner with a beer and just being very quiet because you've just killed his granny.
Okay, I want to go and
Friends.
speak to Gus.
friends were sat next to him, teaching him a song to sing for his granny.
That's true.
Yeah.
Draconic. And then, obviously, once they've gone through it a few times, obviously, friends have basically just think back and just sit in silence with him until he was ready to talk.
Trellador, you wanted to go over to Gus?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go to Gus. It's now a good time. You seem a bit sad.
Is now a good time for what?
I have I'm not very good at phrasing this because it always sounds like I'm being dramatic or being selfish, but you could be of use to me. No, I don't mean that. I mean,
Trellador, why don't you tell me what you want to say, and then I can phrase it in such a way that's not going to hurt Gussie's feelings?
no, I can do it. I can do it. I need you to make everything all right between me and Yorick.
You need me to do it. Why would I do that then?
Because you're close to Yorick, aren't you? You're like brothers
I
or
don't-
something? I forgot.
I would protect Yorick's feelings and protect him very fiercely. So,
Yes.
are you going to be a complete wanker again and start fucking around with our god?
I mean,
If you are, then no, I'm not going to help you.
I've spoken to Reorcs and we're okay, I think. We've left it on amicable terms. But Yorick does do very good axes.
So you just want
No.
just to get a new axe from him, not because you feel remorse for the way you've treated him and his
See,
god.
this is why I don't like talking. I was doing that compliment sandwich thing I've heard about, you know. Yes, I'm sorry, I've swapped gods.
What, two
Yeah,
nice
it's
things
a
with a
nice-
bit in the middle? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, and I'm aware that sometimes my shit can be quite large.
It stinks. That's what it does.
So is this a no?
I'll think about it.
With,
Can you?
with,
What will I know tonight? Like,
With
how
the
long do you need? 5 minutes?
You'll know when I've thunk it.
with the greatest
Yeah.
respect, Trelador, then you need to do yourself if it's going to be sincere.
Well, I've tried.
Well,
I-
clearly not tried hard enough because it's not just going to happen. It's not going to happen overnight. And
Well,
you
he
need-
had a bit. He had a hissy fit.
Trelador,
Look, I tried. I've got witnesses. I tried. Fine.
I, right at this second, I don't have the time or the crayons to explain it to you. So I'm not going to, and I will talk to you about it tomorrow.
Okay. Sorry about your nan we just killed. And I'll walk off and leave them to their misery.
An insight check of 15 to see if he was telling the truth about, really wanting to make up with Yorick, or whether he just wants a new axe.
Make a deception or persuasion check. You don't have to tell me which. You just tell me what you got.
I'm not good at Christmas shit. I
Yeah,
got
-1
15 as well. I got -1 as well. 15.
15.
So
Reroll, shall
James
we?
wins. No, he
No.
initiated the check.
You initiate the check. So, are you being genuine about wanting to make up with Yorick, or do you want to just an axe?
I am being genuine about wanting to make up with Yorick. I am trying really hard, and the axe comment was more of a try to save face and sort of slip into my old ways, but he really does want to.
There you go.
Well,
So that's what you get.
because it was so close, it's like I think that, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'm going to have to let it.
I mean, it's pretty out of character, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
I say I'll just stalk off to the corner and just because no one wants to talk to me.
Anybody else want to do anything at all before you take a rest?
Heavy drinking.
Heavy drinking, noted. So,
Presuming there's a fireplace hogging the space in front of it in an attempt to get dry.
there's definitely a fireplace.
Permeating the smell of wet cat throughout the room.
Nice. So, you don't need to set a watch unless you really want to. You're in a safe space. You variously drift off to sleep at different times. Yorick probably the last to go as he's still drinking. Possibly Gus as well, actually. And you could all wake in the morning, refreshed, and have a long rest. Now, how long does the pub last?
24 hours.
24 hours. Nice. So, you
Got a late
awake.
license.
Perfect for bed.
Does our bonus from the hero's feast finally drop off
Yes,
now?
that's gone now.
Good point.
That was
Should go with you. Take long rest,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Mine's just good.
Yeah, if you just do a long rest, it should drop off.
the immunities, wasn't it? Yes. Well, mine is still showing there.
And the immunities you have to remove manually. It's the maximum hit points that get changed automatically.
So, morning arrives. I'm assuming there is breakfast to be had in the tavern.
Sure.
So, you help yourselves to breakfast, possibly a breakfast beer as well, as it's a dwarven tavern. These things are made readily available.
I was speak to the owner.
So, the morning comes round. What would you like to do?
Yeah, that's it.
What's our plan?
Well, we can stay here and day drink for a bit.
I like that
Not a bad
idea.
idea, but
Maybe we should get back and obviously we've still got to put the lava back, haven't we?
Oh yeah.
Could always go back to the gem room before we put the lava back. I mean, there's no reason to keep the door closed anymore, is there?
well, we'll have to go down there to sort that out anyway.
Were there any other secret doors we need to open?
There are a second set of doors at the bottom, if I remember, but we kind of left those alone after our experience. with
On
the
one
first
hand, we could end up releasing something worse than a dragon eater. On the other hand, great loot.
Considering
I don't think there is anything worse than a dragon eater, is there?
Well, we got nothing to fear then, have we?
Unless it's a dragon eater.
Considering the amount of world-ending things that are going on right now, could I please ask that we don't open more doors and potentially release another one or another entity that wants to kill us even more than other entities that already want to kill us, please, and thank you.
I think that's the wisest course of action.
I have almost died enough for several lifetimes.
I think we have also just kind of like put ourselves in like at least the top 10 of best, most dangerous adventuring parties there's ever been, surely.
Oh, we've got to be, isn't it?
We
If anyone's
the
keeping the list,
Avatar
I'll ask
God
Real,
and-
he's probably keeping the list.
I mean that we've killed the avatar of a god, and we have also killed a generational threat. That's a big word. Just...
being powerful enough to sign a pact with gods and devils, a representative of dragonkind. So, yeah, we're quite dangerous and will likely have a lot of attention on us because of that.
Right. But because of
Dragon
said
Eater wasn't
power,
exactly the
which
best
I am
dragon.
now powerful enough to make my own pub in an hour,
That
I
certainly
think
is
we're
quite
pretty
impressive.
safe, aren't we? Sorry, Celeste, I cut you off a bit there.
I was just saying that Carabas was not the only dragon we've taken down recently.
Right.
Of course.
So, what else do we need to go out, sort out? Go kick Snow's arse, right? Is that next?
Yeah, I think Dara might be our next
I'm
target.
looking forward to that.
Might be
I
worth
would ask
letting
another of our.
our dragon friends know that all is safe again now.
Well,
They will probably already know that, because they could censor pretty much across the world.
I think the last two.
I'd like to go back home and just tell my dad what's happened so that he knows it from us.
Yeah.
You know, because that was his mum we just killed.
Yeah, I
I
don't
think
dis-
that's a good idea, and we can take stock at Daghold and
Make
plan
sure the
properly.
back, and we can make sure all the dragon eggs are back and stuff, and everything's copacetic.
Yeah, right. Smart move.
You know what
Big
that
word.
means?
So
Pretty good.
return to Daghold, check in, sort out the lava situation, then set our sights on Dar and Snow.
Okay.
What are we trying to find out about Snow and Dar?
I mean, he's a leader of the cult, isn't he? So
Yeah, we kind of need to take down his cult.
It kind of seemed like they were shipping anyone who was slightly lost or afraid straight there. So who knows what they're doing to him.
well, if you will excuse my use of this hand gesture, they are being encouraged to convert.
And Dar has a very different meaning of encourage. I think we need to fix the problems we've made.
Yeah. any information we can find on what her down below is doing too, as we have already
Exactly.
foiled them once, and
Her,
potentially what the whole Helloran key thing is about too.
her and Peladas are the last two that we are, I think, responsible for. Because I think we awoke both of them from the prisons they were in. The first with the Heartstone that we found when we found that underground temple. And then with Peladas, it was a case of finding his temple out in the water.
Oh, I was thinking of your her, not my her.
Oh my
She's
God,
the
what
one
are you
who's
talking
she's
about?
the one who's been trying to gain access to this.
Yeah, that's the. I'm talking about her, our friend in the house.
Yeah.
That first temple we all found when we were out traveling together. I'm pretty sure that was devoted to her, and possibly the same for her as the one we found with Peladas was for him.
Are you lot speaking in tongues or something?
The one down below who's not my mother.
Huh?
Right, this is a very safe place. We don't need to speak in innuendo here, okay?
Fiona.
Because he's very easily confused.
Yeah.
Fiona, the one we ran away from and when we went into the hells and we were in that palace.
Yeah, I remember
The
her.
one that's caused me a lot of trouble.
Uh-huh.
She's likely still trying to make her move on this plane.
Oh, right, okay.
And I'm still betting that me and my sister and Trillador are somehow still involved in it too.
And I think that we are responsible for that pact being broken. The one that was forged between all four, because we let Fiona free with that temple.
I am really not so sure about this being safe enough place to use names because I already had my friend whispering to me last night.
Oh.
That's what I meant by cracks.
To
Right.
be fair, I think your friend is a lot more sneaky than anyone else.
Point still stands, I suppose, if...
True. Names do hold power. There's a reason I won't ever say the name of the one of the hells that signed that pact. It's a dangerous name to go invoking.
So,
But let's get back to Darkhold, unless you want to do anything for your grandmother, Gus.
Nope, I just want to go back, see my dad and my mum.
Is Gus okay? Is he
make,
trying to put on a brave
make an
face, or is
insight
he?
check.
Yeah.
And Gus, you can make a deception or persuasion. Your choice. You don't have to tell me. Just tell me the number.
I'm not really trying to hide anything
Okay.
or give anything away. No, he's not okay. He seems very low. The fact that he sort of had a granny for a couple of minutes and now he doesn't have one has sort of upset him. As one
Yeah.
can.
Inside 21.
There you go. You get all of that.
But he understands why. He just doesn't have to like it.
That's fair.
Okay.
Right, so Darkhold is it then, right?
Do you want to walk, or do you want to
I'm feeling
risk
better
my
today.
practice of teleportation?
Yeah, we can walk. It's only a couple of hours, isn't it?
I think
Yeah.
a walk will do us good.
Okay. You exit
Some exercise
the
and
tavern?
fighting.
Into the scene of last night's or yesterday's battle, and it's odd. It's eerie. There is a chill to this place now. You look around, and Carabess is nowhere to be seen. But where she fell, there is an imprint of her shape, her body shape, in the rock. Just sort of like as if it had been sort of burnt into the rock. And it's about a foot deep, this imprint of this enormous dragon on the floor of the squeeze where you fought her. Is anybody inspecting that or interacting with it or any way, or are you just going to avoid it and go on?
I'm going to have a look at it, considering my people will be passing this way again in the future. How much more difficult is it going to be now?
Indeed.
Friends on much. Yeah, go on,
Sorry. Make me. You could do an investigation, or what else could you do?
I'm really hoping there's an ore.
Yeah. Well, you're looking for potential dangers, aren't you? So give me your trap find sense.
Oh, yes.
Can I have a look into how it's maybe affecting the natural world around it?
Yeah, make me a nature check.
24.
Nudge Gus. Come on, Mr. Gus. I got something that I want you to come and help me with.
Okay.
So 24. This imprint, yeah, as you sort of look into it, looking for danger. It's not dangerous in of itself, but it's deep enough that cart are going to have trouble navigating this place. You can probably get round it with a cart, but it's going to be tight. It's going to be even more of a squeeze than it normally is. And the chill that you all felt when you stood out of the tavern seems to radiate from the middle of this thing. And where dragon physiology aside, where you surmise her heart would have been is a jet black stone, which seems to radiate this chill, almost evil feel, that you can feel that you don't want to touch it, you don't want to go anywhere near it. It reminds you of Ardiac's magic. You know, that sort of creeping horror. That's what it gives you with that 24. You suspect that travel around here will indeed be more dangerous from now on, and it might be a good idea to warn your people about the place. So, your nature check was a 19. So, never a place for lots of wildlife anyway. The squeeze is mainly rock. It's a pass cut almost through a mountain. But there are sort of lichen and bird life. But this morning there is none. There's nothing here at all. It's adding for you to that chill factor. And I think you see as well this blackened stone where the dragon's heart would be. And you sense it just putting tendrils out into the ground. Not sort of physical tendrils, but sort of feelers almost of evil just soaking into the ground. Have you got inspiration at the moment, Fiddy?
Have No.
Good. That joke in the Discord, no, bad. Bad fitting. So,
I was like, I haven't said hardly anything. What's this question for?
I'm worried about that stone. I don't know if there's something we should do with it. But I feel like if it's left here, it might start to creep into the atmosphere around it and influence it in some way.
You think maybe we should speak to Shine and see if he knows what to do, because it's a dragony thing, isn't it?
Well,
Maybe we could go and put it in the chamber where the Dragon Eater was before we fill the lava back up.
That's a good idea.
Right.
But do we want to touch it? That's what I'm worried about.
I will deal with it. But if you don't mind, just shut up for a second, because I would like to do something for Mr. Gus. So, Mr. Gus. So,
Yeah.
with your consent, obviously, I would like to show you a little prayer in the tongue of your granny.
Right.
Right. And then, so friends will then sort of go through a little bit of the prayer that he says to Shine, but sort of it's kind of a morning prayer a little bit for Gussie's granny, and he'd be just like, so you start it off, great mother of black scale, I'm sorry, granny, and then like he'll just go through the little bits, and it flows a lot like the song that he taught you last night, but it's a little bit more personal for and a little bit more tailored to your granny.
Right, okay.
nice.
So that's just a little bit of a dedication to your granny, and I just want to reassure you that Shine did intercede on her behalf with Remora to make sure that she passed on to where she wanted to be. Okay?
Thank you.
I really don't like what we had to do. I really, really don't like it.
I know it wasn't very nice, but I understand, because like she was too far gone. But you know,
Somehow I don't think it was entirely her own fault.
no.
But maybe what we did was for the best, even if I didn't like it at all. But right, I am gonna speak to Shine and see what to do about that. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Shine? We might have a problem. Thank you, by the way, for sorting Gus's granny out and making sure that Remora took her on. But there's a big stone that might be a problem. What do we do? Do you want me to do it? Do you want to do it? Should we do it? I don't know.
Okay, make me a religion check, please.
That's not so bad.
It's about this time, whilst that's happening, Gus, you feel the comforting words of Dell enter your mind. Oh, hi, Gus. I just want to say that I think you're wonderful, and I'm going to make my way back to Daggold, so I'll meet you there, okay? And you're very brave and very strong, and you can make it all the way back there. And don't you dare go being too sad, because I will cheer you up, okay?
Right. All right. I'll see you there.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. What did you get for your religion roll?
22.
22. Okay. So Shine, you feel that comforting presence once more. It is unfortunate, the tasks that you have to do. They are difficult, hard, and harrowing, but you do them because you are good people. This is excellent, as you know. As for the stone, I suggest you take it back to underneath Daghold, underneath the mountain, where she originally was contained. That, I think, would be the best plan. Ask the dwarves. They are the masters, after all, of stone and deep places.
Do you think it should be me that carries it, though?
Well, I would leave that up to your group. Decide. Because after all, you are, as I believe I heard someone say, a very dangerous adventuring party now.
Oh, yeah.
So, I'm sure there is nothing you cannot achieve working together.
I had no
Remember,
idea that I...
friends, it is not the burden of one, it is the burden of all of you. So decide amongst yourselves who is the best fit for the job.
Right you are. Thank you. Yeah. So I need to speak to them, but
Yes.
Thank you.
Relax, friends. Be chill. Remember, chill. And the voice sort of fades.
Yeah.
You hear the sort of the roar of surf, waves crashing on a beach somewhere. Just for that little instant, it goes away.
Yeah. During this conversation, sort of like the brightness from Frenzy scales just gets brighter and brighter and brighter, and then when the conversation finishes, it kind of dims back down to that sort of semi-normal brightness that you're used to. It's just like, right. Shine thinks we should take the stone and put it in the cave where she was sleeping, and we should.
Oh no, good idea, right?
I know you. But yeah, so he said that speak to the dwarves because the dwarves are masters of stone and such. So
I know we are, right?
I know. It's, would you all be opposed to me grabbing that thing in my spare cloak and carrying it?
Are you sure you want to carry it, Ferenz? That thing is given some...
Well, I think that either me or maybe Mr. Gus should carry it. Considering that you are a family.
Yeah, I'm quite happy to carry it if you don't want to.
No, I'm happy to do it, but I'm thinking because of the size of it, would you mind helping? And we'll do it together.
I don't mind at all, fine.
Right,
You're both gonna carry it, like sidling along together.
Perhaps we can treat it as a funeral procession. You're carrying the last
Admit,
remains of her back.
The strongest person in the world.
How big is the stone?
This stone is, let's think, it's going to be about 2 feet across, sort of almost circular, and you don't know how thick it is because it's just the surface you can see.
I can whip up some sort of cart if it's going to be easier.
That would probably.
If you want, we can each take shifts carrying it if you need.
I think we need to protect ourselves from it, whatever, because it's giving off some pretty heavy shit, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think a cart isn't too bad of an idea. We can just take shifts dragging it.
I can change my form into something that maybe would make it easier for me to carry.
Did you just make it joke there? Say dragging it?
The pun was intended, but you did catch it.
Did you just say cat shit?
I myself am not an easy person to be influenced by outside.
Influences.
Yes.
I mean, to be fair, Celeste, I think 7 of us are pretty strong-willed.
Well, 6.
Oh, I counted right.
Oh, okay.
Do you mean something by that?
I think you knew pretty well that he means something by that.
Does Yorick twirl his moustache?
I mean,
Easily like that.
the beard.
If you've got something to say, just say it.
Before we talk about that, I think maybe something it can be carried on and pulled would be better, just to reduce any influence it might have over somebody touching it.
No problemo.
Okay.
If you can whip up a cart, I can turn myself into a horse, and I can pull it along, if that's amenable.
Well, there's no need to give yourself a sore throat about it. We don't want you to be a little horse.
Oh, the
We're
puns are
both
getting
playful.
worse and worse.
Oh, right.
I can do a little bit of, I can push from the rear and then try and use some of the light to contain whatever the evilness that's coming out of it as much as I can. We don't mind.
I do have something that might be able to kind of contain it a little bit, but it would take me an hour, and I'd need some silver.
What sort of materials have we got? Because I can make a cart. I can do it magically to save time. Do we have like?
I can turn into a warhorse with a strength of 18, so if we've got something we can balance it on and I can pull it along, and I can stay in that form for 7 hours.
But that's anticipating you can get it moving with the size of the thing.
Can't we just carry it and we'll look out for each other as a team, and if anyone looks like they're, succumbing to the influence, we take over. I mean, I don't mind going first if you're...
Yeah, friends are just going to climb down into the thing and just sort of go and
Okay.
look at this thing.
Okay. First off, make me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Okay, cool.
At disadvantage.
Oh, okay. $21.
21. Okay. So you feel, as you approach, you can feel these waves of coldness. Now you're a being of flame.
Yeah.
Light. This is cold and dark. And it's unsettling to walk near to.
Mhm.
And you get the distinct feeling you'd rather not be anywhere near this thing.
So I'm going to take off my how like being closer to this thing. How much bigger is it than we thought it was?
Like I say, it's about 2 foot across, and it's a sort of irregular sort of circle.
Okay.
You can't see how deep it goes into the rock, but it's definitely starting to discolour the rock around the edges of where it is.
Okay.
How you feeling down there, friends?
I wouldn't get any closer if I were any of you. I'm not particularly feeling amazing right now.
Here. And I'll walk down
I'm
to
sure
come
your
next to
fare
him.
has got paid.
However, he would just hold his handle, and
Perance,
Renz is going to
out
cast
of
stone shape to remove the surrounding stone from around it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'll say that's easily enough done. As you start to pull back the surrounding stone, you can see that this rock, dragon heart, whatever it is, goes down into the rock about another foot. But you managed to excavate all the way around it. So it is just resting with the stone shape. You can get even underneath it, so it's just resting on the top.
Yeah.
I'm going
I'm
to
not
walk down
embedded
next to
either.
Perens and kind of place a hand on his shoulders to support.
Make a wisdom saving throw, please. Melissa.
Is that a disadvantage as well? Or?
Nope.
I have my theories. 22.
22. Yeah, I mean, you feel this thing is unpleasant to be beside. You'd rather not be here. It's cold, darkness, evil.
Yeah, this thing definitely needs to be contained.
Okay.
You'll see friends will start to exude that light again, and you just see the flame start to crawl up his fur and across his scale. Right. I think before we move this thing, we need Mr. Yorick's card. So let him do his thing, and then
Yeah.
I can.
I walked up to the precipice of this little drop down. How does it make me feel?
I mean, you can
when I
feel
get
that
close?
same vibe as you when you walked out. This is a cold place now. That stone is very definitely radiating cold and evil and darkness. Do you go drop into the pit to go and stand near the other two?
I will.
Okay. Make me a wisdom saving throw, please, with advantage.
Do I notice the difference between how much it affects the three of them?
Make an insight check. Or a
Natural
perception
20.
check. Natural 20. Yeah. Okay, so you wander up, and yeah, you can feel it. It is that there is that evil darkness, but you've been your mother in particular, Fiona. You're kind of almost not tuned, but you are in tune with how that sort of evil works. This is different. This is ancient, and you can feel it. And yeah, you'd rather not be there,
Yeah.
but it's not having quite as bad an effect on you as the others.
Yeah, so I'll just put a calming hand on both Ferenz and Melissa. I definitely think it should be using Yarok's card, but just to put a bit of ease to the way you're thinking about things, which I know both of you probably are, this isn't to do with any other deity. It is simply how evil Kerberos was.
Yeah.
33.
33. Yeah, you can see it. You can see. Florian seems to be. He knows what it is. He's accepting of it because he knows what it is. Melissa also kind of knows that step into shadow and evil. Ferenz, however, is a being of light and fire. And just the way he's more hesitant with this thing tells you that he's probably not the one that should be down there. I mean, that was a
If I
high
may-
roll, so I'll say that you get the idea that people touched by evil are going to be the better to deal with this piece of stone. Beings of light and fire, probably not.
How do I think I might be affected by it?
You think you might be affected quite badly by it.
You realise you rolled perception instead of insight, right?
I got told I could do either.
Oh, it was perception, was it? Yeah. Oh, you definitely
Yeah,
see the
perception.
differences then. You would just see the differences rather than intuiting why. You could just see their reactions are different. Or you could probably work it out that that's why. Sorry, I thought you'd rolled insight, but if you roll perception...
Sorry, you told me I could do either. So
Yeah,
I
but you
went
didn't
with
tell me
what
which one.
best. Sorry.
If I give you a choice, you need to tell me which one so I can
Yeah.
tailor my answer. So yeah, that is what you see is a marked difference between, especially Florian and Ferenz, at opposite ends of a scale.
It seems like, friends, you're affected by the presence of the stone more than, for example, Florian is, while Melissa seems a little affected. It's nowhere near as much as it seems to be touching you.
You would very visibly turn and force the light out a bit further.
Okay.
But it's
Brands.
fairly obvious that he's struggling.
Yeah, so as you
Right.
force the light out... Sorry, Jay, we'll get to that in a second. I just want to describe it because I think it's quite important. The light comes out of you, but you all notice, especially Celeste, the light gets so far up against this stone and then stops and curves. The darkness will not allow the light to pass a certain threshold.
I know how strong you are, friends, but even your light cannot permeate that darkness.
So, Melissa, you wanted to...
No, friends, I know how much you want to be able to help deal with this. I understand your need to handle it, but I think with the group and the variety that we are, I think this should be a case that you should be watching to make sure that others are okay whilst we handle it. We'll get Yarick to build the cart, and then myself and Florian and I look back to the rest, and perhaps Trelador, if he's willing to help, we can get this sorted, and the three of us will be perhaps less affected than you are. I mean, I don't like the sight of it myself. I'm surprised that Florian's so relaxed.
Florian is touched by both light and darkness.
Yeah. Well,
With
it goes the
consent.
same for Trelador.
I think you're missing the obvious here as well, Mr. Gus. He's family.
Mm.
You might be able to help as well, but
Gotta be careful when the darkness is touching you.
Do you believe in a thing called love?
of course.
Just
you
does
do.
no Dell just talk to him, yes.
Right then, peeps, what sort of materials have we got? Because I can form it into a cart, but I need materials. Unless we haven't got anything, and then I can make some materials that will last a while.
Could you just use some of the rocks that are around?
I mean,
That'd be
if
a
we
heavy
want-
cart.
It would be a very heavy cart, yeah. I'm thinking wood.
My apologies. Sorry, I'll shut up.
No, you're right.
Do you need
Um,
the exact amount of materials of what size of thing
Yeah,
you're building?
kinda.
I just want to point out, it doesn't have to be massive. So it's about this big by about this big by about this big. And Ferenz will start to sort of back away and head towards Yorick and sort of he'll basically take his finger and essentially light the tip of his finger, and then burn the dimensions into the rock on the edge.
Okay. Yeah, as
Are
you
there
get
any
further away
plants
from
nearby?
it, you feel a lot better. Sorry, say again.
Are there any plants nearby?
Yeah, I was going to ask about trees.
There are no trees up here. It is literally side of a rocky mountain. There is lichen, as we said earlier with your nature check. There is lichen. There are birds. Sometimes you don't see any at the minute, but trees. The nearest trees would be the Great Forest of Drummond, which is a fair walk away.
Are there any traffic lights, street lamps
No.
as we're up the junction?
No, not at all. None of those.
Is the lichen quite big in size, or is it just small patches?
No, it's just there are sort of patches of it and along some of the rocks. A lot of the rocks got fucked up because there was a big battle here yesterday.
Gus, Yarick, what are the differences in the rocks here? Is there some which would be lighter but still as sturdy as the others?
It's fine. We're going to be going over very rocky ground, even when we're pulling the cart. So we want the cart to be as light as possible, especially when the stone is on it. It's going to make it heavier. So I don't want to be using rock for it. Maybe for the wheels to make them sturdier, but even then, it's probably better off.
I could try using the pigments that I've got.
I don't know if the lichen's going to be of any use, although at least it's daytime, so we don't have to worry about the moon. But I will start. I'm in a very silly mood. I'm sorry.
That is fine.
Friend,
That's
friend,
perfect. If you
friends will
don't
pull
have
out,
inspiration, can you have inspiration of that, please? Because that was beautifully silly.
friends will pull out all the metal pieces from what used to be his armor and be just like, because we're going over rocky ground, would these be useful to coat the wheels?
Sorry, what was that? What did
It's
you
just pieces of metal out of his bag from what used to be part of his armor.
Right, but yeah, a bit of metal might be good for some like rivets and things to keep it all together.
Yeah.
That's
You had a
good.
good idea, Melissa.
I still have my marvelous pigments. Now the material it paints ain't the best, but with your crafting expertise, we might be able to make it into something better.
Melissa,
Don't worry, guys. It's okay. I appreciate that. I just have.
Yorick, wait 1 minute. Melissa, can you still do the portal? Because if we can get this thing sooner rather than later, that might be better. That would mean less time for it to affect anybody.
I don't particularly want to teleport this thing just in case it does go wrong and it ends up
I
in the wrong
Don't
place.
feel fully confident enough to teleport with those things yet. And there's no guarantee that we'll end up where we want to go.
While they
Yeah.
were talking, I just started drawing out a 5-foot square, and I'm sort of lifting it up from the ground as there's just this block of wood that appears in this 5-foot cube.
Perfect. Yet you were saying?
Knows Miet sees that she'll, pause with something half out for bags and then shrug and put it back.
So yeah, I've used a 5th level creation to create a 5-foot cube of wood.
Right.
That will only last a day, assuming wood is vegetable matter. It's certainly not stone or crystals.
Plant matter, yeah, that'd be fine.
Yeah. So yeah, it will last a day. Okay, this isn't permanent stuff, but it is wood until it isn't anymore. But we got a day. And then I'll spend the next 10 minutes casting Fabricate on it to turn it into planks that I will turn into a cart.
Okay, fair enough. So, a cart is built. Yorick applying science to the problem. Anybody else doing anything?
Who needs a wizard when you got the utility of a forge cleric?
Yeah, exactly.
with the stone shape what friends use to dig out around the side of it.
Yeah.
You said it gets about a foot deep, yeah?
Yeah.
And it's essentially like a cylindrical stone.
No, it's more. Picture a millstone.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's about
Okay.
a foot
Yep.
deep and 2
By
feet
2 foot.
across, and it's sort of in a regular shaped circle-ish.
Yeah.
But it's jet black and cold.
Lifting this onto the card is going to be the problem here, Melissa. Do we try and get rope?
Use some ropes. I've got
something?
some rope on me. We could tie around it and haul it on.
Trellador,
Yes.
maybe we could. I think we're the strongest. Maybe we could try and pick it up and get it on the cart.
I mean, I can help lift it if you need me to.
Friends.
Well, you look like you were going to pass out
Fancy.
last time you went near it, so I don't know.
Yeah, but needs must, and yeah, you know. That's
Florian, friends. Sorry.
Yeah,
It's
we,
okay.
we are all friends here. Yeah.
Friends. It'll be okay. We can figure it out.
Okay.
Yorick, yes, I think both of us are the strongest here.
How much does
Okay.
that hurt?
I'll take
Okay, so-
10 points of damage.
If
Psychic damage incoming. Ego damage.
I've got some rope on me, Melissa. Have you got some on you?
You don't need rope if they're gonna lift it.
I don't particularly want anybody to touch this.
Oh, it'll be fine. Stop worrying.
I also have an idea, and Brenz will take off his cloak that's inscribed with giant symbols on, in sort of inlaid silver. So this is like a brilliant white silk sort of robe that he's got, and he takes it off, and he'll give it to Yorick.
Any excuse to get naked. Surfer
And then
dudes,
he'll pull
man.
out. Yeah, he'll pull out his other spare one, which is less ostentatious and sort of purple, and put that on instead. And he'll just be like, "This is quite special and blessed by shine. So maybe wrap this around it so you don't have to touch it directly."
Yeah, smart. Okay, thank you.
I also do have a spell that might be able to at least protect it from being influenced or influencing someone, but it would take me an hour to cast. That's
Okay,
the
well
problem.
let's give it a try. Get it on the cart first. See how we
Yeah.
go.
I think me and Yorick are not easily swayed. I think we'll be okay.
I think between the two of you, actually, in this situation, based on what Celeste was saying, Trellador, you would be the best for hauling this thing.
I know.
'Cause you've been
I was
touched by
waiting for you
dark
to
power.
ask me. But yes, let's
Right. Okay. So,
do this.
Be careful, Yorick. Your
Who-
heart is
sorry.
And Trellador.
Who is going into the basic carving of this dragon inlay to get this stone
I
out?
think just me and you, Trellador.
Everybody else is getting out of the way, yes?
I will stay in there just to try, if they need it, just to give them a calming influence.
Okay.
I mean, our relationship's already tense, so we can't make it worse by going into this.
Yeah.
oneness.
Okay. So, I would like a wisdom saving throw from the pair of you. You can both have it at advantage.
Oh, lovely. 18.
18. Nice.
Dirty 20.
Nice. So the pair of you sort of, as you walk up to this thing, it is radiating evil and cold. And it gives you a shiver as you approach. As you look at this thing, think about how to manhandle it up to this cart. it is going to be unpleasant, but you guys do unpleasant things all the time. It's not a problem. So, are you using Forensi's cloak?
I will, yes. I'll sort of throw it over the top as we.
So you throw it over the top, and it just sort of. It's weird. You shouldn't behave like that. It just sort of poof, bounces off onto the other side. It's like a magnet has repelled it.
Okay, that was strange.
Shall we just touch it and see what happens?
What's worse
Can you
could happen?
Give me just a moment. And Friends will cast Stone Shape again, but he's going to sort of shape essentially 4 handholds around this thing for them to pick
You're
it
gonna
up like a little.
you're gonna try and stone shape the actual stone.
No. I'm going to stone shape the rock from underneath it into handholds for them, so they can lift it on the rocks without having to touch it directly.
Like a stand.
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, no, I'll say you can do that. Yeah, mark off your other spell slot for that.
Cool.
So,
That's handy.
so you're touching it. What's the plan? What's the plan, big boys?
Just put hands in the
handholds.
in the handholds that have
Pick it
just
up.
been made.
Okay. I would like strength checks from the pair of you, please.
Just straight ones, yeah.
Straight strength check, please. This is all about muscle power.
Cool.
So, what do we get?
28.
28.
On a strength check.
Oh, hold on. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not saving
Just,
throw,
just
it's a
take
check.
off your
Sorry.
just take off your proficiency. So it'd be 23. I think.
23.
Yeah,
Okay.
23.
So,
It's my 18.
yeah, Trevor,
You got inspiration.
you do
I do have inspiration.
for being very silly. Awesome.
19.
19. Okay. So, Trellador, as you reach out into these handholds and pull up, it's heavy, very heavy, possibly one of the heaviest things you've lifted. And you see that Yorick, you first can't get your grip sorted straight, and then you just sort of shift a little bit as Trellador's picking it up. He's going a little bit too quick for you. So you then
Height difference.
it's probably what it is. Recalibrate and pick and lift this thing. As you pair of you do so, you can feel, even through the rock that Ferenza's carved out for you, this sort of seeping, numbing cold that's coming through that stone that's between you and this object. So you make your way to the cart, yes?
Yeah.
And put it on the cart. I would like another strength check from the pair of you to put it gently on the cart or drop it and smash the cart to pieces. I mean, that's going to be a fairly, if you fail miserably, that's going to be what happens, but I don't think you're going to. By
Natural 20.
Natural 20. For 25?
19.
19, yeah. Again, this time it's Yorick who is controlling the speed of this thing. You just sort of try and let go, and Yorick's like, no. It just sort of catches you, and you put it down gently into the cart, and the cart sort of creaks as this thing settles into it. And you have successfully got it onto the cart.
I will say to Yorick, well done. You did well there.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I try something?
Sure.
Seeing how everyone reacted around this thing and Ferenza's cloak basically being pushed to the other side like a magnetic force on it. I'm just gonna. Everyone will see Florin pick a torch out of his traveller's bag and I'm going to look at my hand, and I'm just going to try, and I'm going to close my eyes and just not necessarily to Sama, but I'm just going to be like with the light of Sama like flowing through his head, and just try and have a quick ignite of that fire in his hand and light this torch with the fire fire of Sama basically,
Okay.
so that I can put it near this thing on the cart for the journey.
Okay. Make a religion check. We are reaching out to Sama's power. Forgive me if I'm wrong, you haven't actually converted any more followers for...
I haven't. No, it's just the one. We
Just
haven't
checking.
been near anybody to convert.
Yeah, just checking.
Unless there's anybody in the chat today who would like to convert to the followership of Sama, then
I'm
chat.
not
group.
sure Trelador will count. I'm not sure.
15.
15. Yeah, you reach for that power and you feel it coming along your arm. It's like, yeah, got it. And then you just hear this, follow us first, as it recedes back and does not ignite.
And there'll be that kind of like, fuck's sake, and put the torch back in my bag.
Eat it up already.
I mean, it's a hugely transactional relationship, so, you know.
Are you alright, Florian? You were staring at that torch real angry.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily angry. I was just... It's a dark thing, and I was just hoping that maybe I could use some of that fire I had fighting against my mother to light a torch to be a bit of a thing for this dark
Using the
object.
fire of your blood.
Not my blood, but I'm Sama.
Friends will
I'm
just
trying to remember what interaction we've had with Sama in person. I remember we got to watch him.
That was the only one, I think.
Yeah, I think that's the only time. All the other interactions have been only with Florian.
Sama seemed a little bit odd when we met him.
Selfish?
Haven't all of them?
True.
Beg your pardon?
Well, not all of them. Sorry.
I think Reorx and Remora have been the most reasonable of the
Because they're the two that supply beer, you see. It's not hard.
I can't argue with that.
There's no arguing with that.
I can provide the music, so can I join the party too?
I mean, of course. So
you're always welcome. You're our best friends.
So I'm assuming you are setting off. Who is pulling and or pushing the cart? Is it a pull or a push, or a bit of both?
Push me, pull you.
Yeah, it could be.
I thought we
I
were
don't
going
mind.
to a giant warhorse to pull it.
I had an
I was
idea.
I was going to be the warhorse, but I don't know how close I can get to it. It depends on how close I am to it, I guess.
Up to you. Do you want to
Assuming
try
that
it, see, or
Yorick
do you
made
want-
this cart, he would have made it with, like, rope holes. What do you call it? Bloody... What do cars have? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's got a tow bar.
Tow bar and, you know, like if it breaks down on the front. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
there are fixings for putting
Yeah.
rope on.
Is there a fixing on the back to put your number plate so that it's not covered up by the cart?
Yeah,
You
I'll
guys
go.
put those jangly balls that people like.
I'll go up with at least my rope and put it through the fixings and be like, anybody got some more rope so I can put it through the other side, and then we can give it
Actually,
to Celeste.
make me a wisdom save, please, Florian. as you approach, having just tried to interact with Sama.
Yeah, a straight one.
Yes, please.
$19.
19. Yeah. This is somehow even more unpleasant this time. Getting close to it as you affix the rope through the tow hitch.
Assuming I can potentially put 2 and 2 together with how I felt last time, and then trying to reach out to Sama and feeling a little bit worse this time.
Make an intelligence check.
Fiddy does not compute. This is not insight.
Yeah, 19 again.
19. Yeah. You realise that last time you weren't interacting with any power. This time you just interacted with, again, a being of light and fire.
Yep. Yep. Okay. Ooh,
Right, well, I will make myself into a warhorse then.
Okay.
And settle to get hitched up, I suppose.
Okay. Make a wisdom saving throw.
She's going to get hitched.
At, I'm going to say disadvantage.
15.
15. As you get towards this thing, as you've changed into your warhorse, and you're sort of backing up towards the cart where you're going to be hitched up to it. This is evil. This is evil. You should not, as an elf, you should not have anything to do with this. You should probably get as far away as possible. And I'd like you to spend your movement and action to get as far away from this as possible. So you see Celeste just take off as a horse.
Oh,
So friends will just walk up and sort of like, with the ropes as long as they are, because there's probably about 50 feet on each side, he'll pick it up about 20 feet either way and just wrap it around his forearms, and then secure it around his waist and just start to pull, because with his racial feature, I can...
Yeah, you can pull or push because you are treated as a larger creature because of your strength.
Yeah.
Sure. So how much rope is between you and the stone?
About 20 feet.
About 20 feet. Okay. Okay. You're not happy, but it's bearable for now.
Yeah. So he would have put his white robe back on, and as comfort for himself more than anything, everybody would see those sort of it's like a mixture of like the crystal facets and white fire in the shape of shined wings would just come out of his back and wrap around his chest.
Okay. So as Ferenc starts to pull the cart, what's everybody else doing? I know what Celeste is doing, but
should we go after her?
I mean,
I think she'll be okay. It's just the proximity to this stone, which I think she does not like one bit.
I mean, it is deeply unpleasant. Right, I need to focus.
sorry, Miette, you were going to
I mean,
say something?
Yes, Yet is going to move up to the head of the procession, as it were,
Uh-huh.
and begin playing music, because this is still the squeeze, and effort is still required to get through it. So it's not going to be like cheerful music in terms of, yay, we're carrying a body, but that kind of mix of solemn and upbeat of the jazz they play in New Orleans for
yes,
funerals.
I like it. Excellent. Give me a performance check with advantage, please.
It's a good advantage. I rolled 2 trees. And it's at the 16 on my performance.
16. I mean,
Not the
16
best, well, at least
16
not
pretty
terrible.
good. You start to play, and it's been a while since you've played this style, so it takes you a moment or two to get into it. But the rest of you feel that beat, it's that sort of sort of New Orleans jazz funeral type procession that starts a little slow, starts to pick up a beat and pick up, and a couple of minutes in, you are all reacting to this steady beat of jazz and smooth movements. Celeste, make me another wisdom saving throw, please. This time straight.
21.
21. Yeah, you sort of come to yourself, shake your head as you're still in your horse form, and sort of look back and see what was that about? That the evilness just overcame you. You had to get away from it. But it's approaching you. You are no longer frightened of it, but you're definitely not happy about being near it. So I'll leave it up to you whether you want to change out of horse form or stay in horse form.
I'm going to stay in horse form for now.
Okay.
But I will go up to Gus and sort of nudge him with my nose in case he fancies getting a ride.
Easy. Yep, I'll jump on her back.
Okay.
I mean, we asked her to pull and she said nay.
Nay, nay. Okay. So, as this strange funeral procession almost winds its way through the squeeze, getting part to that this historied, storied place that Miet's people and Miet told you about the first time you encountered it. It is an eerie, strange place to begin with. It is now even stranger and even more eerie. But you successfully negotiate with Miet's skill and the rest of you pulling, or Feren's pulling, the rest of you looking out for him. I would like perception or insight from anybody that's not currently a horse or playing music. Or Ferenz. Yeah, Ferenz, you can't roll with this. It's about you.
I had to really think there. Was I a
Insight
horse?
19.
Was I playing music?
I'm on a horse.
Okay.
23 insight.
Oof, 23 insight.
Oh, was it insight? Was it?
No,
Sorry,
I said perception or
Oh,
insight.
I got a natural 20 for 24.
Perception.
Natural 20 for 26.
What on
Perception.
perception?
24 on perception.
Perception. Okay, so you rolled insight as well. Melissa, did you roll? Miet, did you roll? You don't have to, but
Me play music.
oh, Miet's playing music. Sorry, yes.
I did. I
Melissa?
got a 19 insight.
Okay. So, perception. You watch as at first you're sort of like grooving along with the music, and then you notice Ferenz isn't. Ferenz is shoulders down, pulling this thing, and he looks more tired than he should be. Ferenz is strong. He's a big fella. He shouldn't be this tired pulling this weight. I mean, it's very heavy, but that doesn't seem right. For those of you that rolled insight and rolled high, it was Melissa and Florian, wasn't it? Ferenz looks haggard almost. Being this close to this evil, you think is affecting his strength and his willpower to carry on. Ferenz is one of those people that will just carry on because he thinks it's the right thing to do. You all know this. But unless somebody takes over from him soon, you're going to have a barely able to move Ferenz. He's slowing more as you go on.
I'm just gonna look across to Florian, seeing that he's seeing the same. Kind of nod to him and motion for the two of us to take over.
Yeah.
I think
Friends.
between us, we can handle it.
Would
Friends.
this have been affecting sort of his mood at all? Would he have been
Well,
agitated?
Yes, you are. You understand the job has to be done.
Yeah.
And you are doing your best, to the best of your ability to do this job. But make me an insight check, please.
Okay.
Proud of you.
20.
20. It's something that Shine said about teamwork and talking to the dwarves. Maybe it's time to let somebody else shoulder the burden for a little while. Just until you feel a little better.
Brands?
As they come across, like, you'll see him turn and you'll just see that dragon's maw just pop, and then he just catches himself. It's just, yeah.
It's all right, Ferent. You take
We
a
got
break.
it now.
Me and Florian can handle it, I'm sure.
You go up ahead with Celeste and get
Right,
the strength back.
Take some
Okay.
fresh air away
and
from the cart.
As he walks past, he also remembers that Shine says rely on and they each have their own part to play, and he will cast enhance ability on the pair of them at 3rd level
Nice.
with full strength, which means their carrying capacity. They have advantage on strength checks, and their carry capacity is doubled.
Nice. Okay.
I'll then knows for ends to get on my back as well.
He's gonna walk for a while. He needs to. Yeah.
Okay. So
he'll drop right to the back and just be plodding on.
Okay.
I'll plod with him in case he needs something to hold on to.
Okay.
As a giant warhorse. Sorry, guys. Shit. Inner voice, Billy.
Yes. Inside voices. So, Melissa and Florian, you are taking over the range. I would like strength checks from the pair of you at advantage because of Ferentz's spell.
I'm really glad we had that advantage.
Yeah, same.
17.
17.
19 for 18.
18. Cool. Okay, so the pair of you sort of shoulder a rope each, whereas Ferenz had both ropes. You get one each, and you're fairly evenly matched in this particular moment. But I would also like... Oh, you're 20 feet. Are you good? Okay. So, you can feel it, that coldness at your backs. But it's not messing with you. You can just feel it there. It's unsettling, but it's not physically affecting you like it did with Friends. So, you carry on. Is anybody else doing anything? No? Okay. Just say you...
I just walk from behind like you do with the, with a hearse and the family walking along behind with stick with their head down and with the music playing.
Okay.
Are you still on my back?
Oh yeah, I am still on your back. I was doing that till I got on the horse.
Okay. Fair enough. So, as you exit from the squeeze, I'll say you carry on for maybe half an hour before Florian and Melissa, you feel your strength waning. You're going to need to tag someone else in.
Trelador,
Yes.
can you take over? It's starting to affect Melissa and I.
Yes, I will.
And do not, I repeat, please do not think that you can do this for the rest of the journey. You're not going to be able to.
I'm not going to do it for the rest of the journey. I'm not that stupid. But I will do my part.
Thank you.
Nice. Melissa, who you tagging in?
I don't need help.
Oh, okay, you're doing it on your own. Okay. If that's what you want to do.
I'll assume I am doing it on my own until...
Okay. So, as you've stopped, you hand the rope to Trelador, Florian. Melissa, what do you do?
Someone able to... Yarick? Sorry, I'm out of breath.
Of course, you've done great. Take a break.
And as
Yeah.
Yorick comes over, I'll go, "Oh, the dream team. Good to see you
Right.
again."
Yeah, Friends will make his way back to the front again, and he'll sort of drop the spell on those two, and he'll cast it again on Pelador and Yorick.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. So, strength check from the pair of you at advantage.
Oh dear.
14 for
14.
me.
14 as well.
Oof. So, noticeably slower this time. But still, as you start to sort of move in, you thought you'd got it because you remembered putting it on a cart. You know, you knew how heavy this was. But pulling a cart is much different to lifting something. So to get it going, it's an effort. And
I'll say to Yorick, I think Florian did something to my side.
But you get it going. It starts to roll on. And you are approaching that tipping point where you crest over the hill and start to go down and around as the mountain path carves down to where you had first encountered refugees coming out of the tunnels. So I'll say you take another half an hour to get there, and we'll have a little break. And we'll come back all refreshed and ready for the challenge of getting the stone into the mountain through the tunnels. Cool. Okay, so enjoy your break. Stay hydrated. Remember, don't lift big evil stones by yourself, especially not if you're a goody goody. Okay, speak to you in a bit. and welcome back. We've been joined by a T-Rex, which is absolutely awesome. But we will get back into it. As you pull this cart into that first area where you first met the refugees, when you first came through the squeeze many moons ago, and you can see the tunnel that goes up into the mountains. What would you like to do?
Keep going.
Keep going. Okay. The cart will fit just about through the tunnels, you think? And the going should be smoother once you getting past that rock fall that was caused in the flight of the dragon where you first met Del. Might be tricky, but I'm sure you can deal with that when you get there. So, our Trelador and Yorick, you are feeling quite tired. Did you want to tag someone else in, or do you want to keep going?
Keep going for a bit.
Yeah, I'll keep going.
For a bit. Okay.
We're both very stubborn.
Okay, so
I would have been watching them for sure, especially Cholador, by the way. Just
okay. Make a perception check.
Oh yeah, no, sorry, like as in how I was the last time within like inciting
Make an
them to make
insight
sure.
check then. Fiddy,
21.
is there any way I can change it into an insight check?
Yeah.
21. Yeah,
Well,
so
because I know you can see when they're tired, but I'm quite adept at.
Yeah, no, I'm just messing. So, yeah, these two are. Do the pair of you want to deceive how tired you are?
I think there's an unspoken competition going on between me and Yorick about the first one to flag. We're not saying, we haven't acknowledged that, but I think we both know it's happening.
Okay. I will say, with your 21 insight check, they're tired, but you know these two, and you know neither of them is going to give in before the other one. So, I'll let you do with that information what you want. You can try and stop them, or you can keep stum, let them carry on.
Melissa, friends,
Yeah.
they're being stubborn.
Oh, leave it to me. I will. Do I feel like I could take over again, or am I still?
I'm just going to trot in front of them and basically just park my ass right in front of them so they can't go.
Okay. Make me an intelligence check.
It's going to go well. 8.
8. Yeah, of course you could take over. Not a problem.
You're going to have to get the great big stonking horse out the way first.
Okay, the great big stomping horse.
With a dwarf on his back.
With a dwarf on its back. Yeah, Yorick, Trelador, Celeste has parked her ass in front of you.
Whose horse is
Move
this?
down a bit.
Whose horse is this?
Can you move? We still pulling here.
You
Not
two are
helping.
looking pretty tired, and you need to give
Yeah.
over.
How about me and Florian take back over for now?
I mean, to be honest,
You two
Florian,
rest
you look
up, and you can resume your
I
big measuring contest a bit later.
I think there's a large horse who would like to take a turn.
You should run away first.
Yeah,
Stomp.
she's half horse, half chicken, eh, Yorick?
Right.
And Florian, you're one to talk about looking rough. You look like you've died 3 times recently.
I have, and thank you again, Yara.
I know it was the joke, Florian. You really need to work on this humour thing. Maybe I can give you
Give
lessons.
the reins over to Celeste.
Yorick can take Yorick's first.
I'll take both of yours at the same time. How's about that?
Mr. Florian, you take Bellador's. I'll get Mr. Yorick's. And
I can take Yarrick's, that's fine. For
Well,
instance.
we could have been another like
You-
200 meters down the road if you
God's
guys.
sake. I agree with you, Yorick. We are of the same mind and very close right now.
Okay. I
I'm
would
trying
like
so hard.
wisdom saving throws at disadvantage from Celeste and Ferenz. Sorry. Wow, brain just went
26.
26. That's a disadvantage, yes?
22.
22. Okay.
16.
16. Again, you feel that. Nope. Boom! Off up the tunnel. Gus, Celeste has taken off with you on her back. She's going really fast. It's fun.
Hang on to her mane for dear life. Celeste, it's okay. Calm down.
To quote that meme, but slightly different. Not another one.
Another one.
I'm trying.
Make
Whose horse is that?
I would like either a strength check or a dex check to stay on the panic horse.
On the panic horse. Strength check or dex? Well, it's got to be a dex check, isn't it? Nope. Why is that not going
So I'll
on?
say your DC is. I was going to say 16. Okay, cool. Right. I was debating to make it 18 or 16. I went with 16, but you got
Well,
15. Yeah. So Gus, you go. Poof, as she sort of jumps over a bit of rubble in this tunnel. You fall off to the side and take 1 point of bludgeoning damage as you bounce across the wall.
Okay. I'll stand up and dust myself off, and just wait for the carriage to catch up, or the wagon to catch up with me.
So, yeah, friends will let out an extra sort of 3-4 feet of rope, so he's about 25 feet down the rope now.
Yeah.
And then you'll do the same again and wrap it around his forearms. And cast enhance ability on himself again, because
Are you doing it by yourself, or are you going with?
I know he's going to do
Sorry?
it by himself. 'Cause
Okay. Right. So, with your wisdom save,
according to him, he reckons he could go again. So
your wisdom save, you feel that coldness as you walk past the cart to get to the rope, and it's just like that shiver. And anybody who's watching, just loving the fight that Dan's having with his balloons.
I've wrapped them on the chair and I was trying to get them off and I can't.
You've made it worse.
Yeah.
So, I've completely lost the plot now. Ferenz, you can feel that coldness and that, and anybody watching will just see the fur, sort of, you know, when you're cold, you get a chill, your hair rises up on your arms. Ferenz is mainly fur. You just. He's some sort of big fur. He gets about twice his normal size. And
Yeah, it's like he's touched a static electric.
yeah, literally.
Van de Graaff generator.
Yeah, Van de Graaff generator's gone off, and it's like Ferenz is just this sort of puff ball of fur.
Friends, with your magic, I can pull perfectly fine. Please don't overstress yourself.
I guess that he's completely wreathed in white fire now, and he's just basically.
Okay. So, I would like you to make a strength check. Now, you have advantage because of the enhanced ability.
Yep.
But I'm going to say you have disadvantage because you are a being of light and fire, pulling this thing. As you saw with your cloak, these things are not mutually attracting to each other. In fact, quite the opposite. So, strength check with disadvantage, with straight roll, because disadvantage.
You mean that he's pushing me along the road, so it's travelling by itself at this point?
No, it's trying to get away from you, and you're trying to get away from it.
13.
13. Yeah. So you'll watch as Ferenz sort of like is this puff ball of fur and the cart doesn't move. It just sits there. Doesn't move at all. And he keeps trying, keeps going. It won't even... I mean, Yorick, Trelador, you know how difficult it is to get this cart moving. And Ferenc just can't do it. He just... It's just not happening.
Does it feel like Melissa and I could go again, or do we think that like we're going to need a break here?
You can try.
French struggles to the point where he greys out and then just passes out.
Yeah, Ferenc is just like boom, onto the floor.
I just rolled a Constitution save and I got 6.
Yeah, no, just like Ferenc, like, you can see the blood rushes to his head.
At this point, he should be able to carry 4 times his usual carry capacity, and it should not happen.
Yeah. So he's down out for the count.
I think we should have stayed on Trello.
No, that's
No,
why
I think
should
we-
have stayed on.
He had it under control.
I think me and Florian can take it for now.
Shall we pick him
I'm
up?
trying.
If you two help Franz, perhaps get Celeste to carry him, as the two of them can't be near this thing.
Well, yes, that's a good idea, Melissa. Thank you for your valuable insight.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Roll sarcasm check.
No, this wasn't sarcasm. This is
And I'll
him trying
nod
really
to
hard.
Florian as I kind of pick up a rope.
Yeah, and we'll give it a go.
You kind of need to dislodge them from friends first, because they're still wrapped around his arms and he's basically face planted in the dirt.
Yeah. So yeah, you take the ropes off of Ferenz, Trelador, Yorick. I say you can carry him quite easily. It's not tricky.
I'll make a comment about him being dramatic.
Do you need me to make another wisdom save?
Yes, please. And I'd like strength checks from Melissa and Florian. This is
Great
not
rolls.
at advantage because
the
you don't have the spell
responsibility.
because he's unconscious in a minute.
15.
That's why
15. Nah, fuck that. You ain't going back there. You ain't staying here. So, off you go. So, the strength checks, how do they go?
16.
16 and
oh, blimey, I'm rolling well. 17.
17. Yeah, it's
18
tricky,
minus 1.
but you get it rolling. Once more, it rolls, and you're going uphill now, so it's more of a struggle. But you get it moving.
And I'll be like, once we get to a plateau, Melissa, I think that's where we need a break.
Yeah.
Okay. So the cart moves once more. Yet, what are you up to? We haven't heard from you for a while.
Still just modestly headed procession, playing music, trying not to roll my eyes or stop playing to scream at the idiots that are bickering behind me.
Okay. So, can I have another performance check, please? With advantage because you're used to the style of music you're playing once more.
Significantly better.
Wow.
29.
Yes, 29.
I rolled double 16s this time.
Fantastic. So, the cave, or the tunnel, echoes with this New Orleans funeral jazz style of music as you are inspired almost to move along this cavern, and it sounds like there's at least 3 people playing this music. It sounds fantastic. The echo is timed just right. Miette has obviously played in caverns and caves before and knows the acoustics and knows how to use them correctly. So it sounds phenomenal. You are all lifted, and I'll say those pulling, you can both have a D6. Actually, everybody, apart from Celeste, because you're too far away, and Ferenz, because you're
Ferenz,
unconscious, everybody can have a D6 bardic inspiration from that incredibly high roll. Even though she's not a bard, I'm going to do it anyway, because if these are my rules, it's my fucking game.
I mean,
Fair.
Okay, so as we're going uphill, it's more difficult. So you travel on for about 15, 20 minutes. The path is clearer than it was outside. Another wisdom save, please.
I was gonna say, am I come back yet, or am I just sort of?
You've got to
halfway
beat
home already?
you've got to beat an 18.
Nope.
Nope. You keep going. You know the tunnels quite well, but yeah, you better get to Daghold. Surely it'll be safe there. As you thunder along the tunnels. Do me another. I'll say another 2 for that sort of 10-15 minute burst of.
21.
Yay! So, I'll say about sort of 5 to 7 minutes in, you're panicking, fleeing, panicking. You suddenly realise that Gus is not on your back. Oops. Now,
Well,
Gus is perfectly fine, but you don't know that because, you know, he's not on your back anymore. It's all gone a bit wrong. What do you want to do, Celeste?
To run back with my tail between my muscular legs, and as soon as I get sights on Gus, I'm going to go over and give him a big horsey lick on the face as an apology.
Gus, as you're standing there waiting for the rest of them to catch up, and they do, so the music is wondrous. Celeste comes charging back out down the tunnel and gives you a huge lick on the face for some reason.
I would just pat her on the neck and just carry on. I just stand there still waiting.
No, they've caught up to you.
Oh, of course not.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, I'll just carry on walking with the rest of them.
Okay. So, as you continue on,
I want rather a big bump on my bottom pillow.
yeah. So, Gus has got a slight sort of bit of a twinge as he walks up. So, I would like as you sort of go for about 20 minutes or so, bordering into that half hour, the pair of you are feeling very, very tired. There, Yorick, you know there's an almost a plateau coming up to where the cave-in had happened, the one you cleared where you met Del. So there is a plateau coming up. So I would like a strength check, please, from Florian and Melissa to carry you the last sort of 5-10 minutes to get to that plateau. To remember, you have a D6 inspiration.
I'm going to use it
if you need it.
I'm going to use it.
Okay.
Do we need to say we need to use it before the outcome, or
No, it's a D6 barding. You use it whenever you like.
Budding inspiration works after you've rolled, but before you know the outcome.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, so you decide whether you want to add
I
it
might
to
as well
your
because
score.
we're tired. It's a high.
Yeah.
I rolled high, but
It's going to be a high DC, this one.
okay, that's not too bad.
What do we get?
21.
21.
15.
15. Florian, you are pushing through. You can see that plateau coming up. But it's really hard now. Really, really hard. Melissa, you are pulling, but your strength is starting to give out, and the cart is now veering to one side towards the wall as Florian is pulling ahead of you, and you can't.
Melissa,
keep up.
give me the rope, Melissa, quickly. I
Yeah.
got this to the end, and I'll just.
Okay. I'll say you can push on up to that plateau. And as you get there, it's just like you literally fall to your knees when you get there, Florian. Melissa, you are also so tired. So, what would you like to go do?
I'm going to try again.
Okay.
Celeste, before you do, just no one else at the minute can take over, and we've only been going so far before we have to stop. Let's just have a rest to begin with.
I don't know. I think me and Trenador could pick it right up.
Yeah, no
Again,
problem.
you probably could, but if Celeste can't get close, Brenz is currently still unconscious, and it's just taking everything Melissa and I have to get it up this hill.
I thought Celeste was just got a scout in ahead for us.
I mean, she really should tell us what she's doing. Oh wait, she can't.
Instead of
she's
just
a horse.
bolting off. I don't know.
Yeah, she did. She went before the horse was bolted, eh?
Let's just slow it down.
Something
and
stable door. Yeah.
Yeah.
take a rest. We could all use one.
I mean, me and Yorick are totally fine, but okay, if we need to rest for you, that's fine. I mean, you do look quite rough.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, I'm assuming you're sitting down, having a drink, chilling out. Or are you taking a short rest, or what's the plan here?
Yeah, I will take my water skin out and sort of hand it over to Yorick, my new bestie.
And Yorick's like, "What's this piss water?"
I don't need a wash.
Oh, it's full of beer.
Oh, that's all right.
I will instinctively sniff it before. Is it actually beer?
Yeah, why not?
It is now.
Yeah, it's been in there a while.
Yeah, it didn't smell that great, but you drunk worse.
It probably was when I filled it up when, like, the first time we went to Darkhold, so it's been there for quite a few weeks.
It's been fermenting nicely.
Okay, Ferenz, can we have a constitution check, please?
Yep. 14.
14. Yeah, you sort of come round groggily. You're in a slightly different place than you were when you were pulling the cart, and you don't recall how you got here.
I have a series of questions, but first, thank you for not leaving me behind. I'm going to sit over here.
Fine.
Okay. So, you can take your short rest. Is there anything anybody wishes to talk about, do, before we carry on?
I'm determined to keep trying to stand by this thing until I'm able to.
Oh, if you're going to actively stand next to it, then you need to make a wisdom save with disadvantage.
Not right next to it, but in place to be able to pick it up again when everyone gets going.
If you're getting that close, you need to make a wisdom save with disadvantage. You need to beat an 18. 17. Bye-bye. Off she goes again.
He's scouting again.
Ryan's just going to be sat far enough away from the cart and the stone not to feel it, and is just going to sit there. He'll have a bit of his rations and some water, and then is just going to go into to meditate and just set it himself again, reset,
Okay.
go into it.
Nice.
When can I get in front of him? So when do you close your eyes when you meditate?
Yeah, I also draw back the curtains too.
I'll just wait until he's done. I'll be right in front of him, like talk off.
Okay. So.
Hey, yeah, that was a great song. I mean, like, a bit somber, but really good playing. It was top work.
Thank you. I don't often get to play music like that.
You should play more often, definitely.
I think it was very good, and it sounded just right for what the situation was. Thank you.
You're very welcome, Gus. I'm glad I could bring you some comfort.
Awesome. Okay, so.
Can I come back?
Yes, roll me a wisdom save. No. Thundering up the tunnel. You can all hear the hoofbeats.
I don't know.
I'm
Who's up
obviously too
next?
pure.
It's a Hobbit's tale, isn't it? There and back again.
Right, who's up next? Is it me and Trellador again?
I'm for that entire hour that you're resting. I'm trying to get close enough to this thing that I can pick it up.
Roll me another
I mean,
wisdom
I
save.
can go.
Yeah,
But I'm
at
not
this
very
point,
strong.
at this point, that's just not going to happen.
18. Okay. So you come back, having scouted up the path. Didn't find anything. It's all a bit scary, but you know. You manage to stand about as far away as you can, which is just outside the rope's length, but as it is. But you know, you've got 50 feet of rope on each side. You could theoretically make it a little bit longer to do so. To the point where I'll say you can make a wisdom save as a straight roll if you wanted to try and pull the cart. So,
Okay.
Ryan will come out after however long it's been. What's it been? 45 minutes now?
Yeah.
Florian, you're already out, we know.
this is very true.
And
Yeah, you see
Well-
Trellador in front of you.
I just like, look up and I'm surprised he waited this long.
Well, me and Yorick were ready to go, but you know, some people needed to break, and you know, you don't look the best.
No, I mean stood in front of me. I mean, I know
Oh,
you've been
well-
here the whole time.
Why don't you come out then? Quite rude, just ignore me then.
Bad rude just standing in front of me when I'm doing my meditation.
Yeah, but you weren't doing anything. You were just sitting there.
What does
Look,
it do with
I-
my Trellador?
I get the sense, I'm not the best at reading people, but there seems to be some sort of tension between me, you, well, to be honest, most members of the group. Apart from Yorick, we seem pretty solid at the moment.
That's a turn of events.
It is, I don't seem to be able to have it all, unfortunately.
I don't feel that there's tension between us. Maybe that's just what you've thought up in your own mind for actions you've taken, words you've said. I don't know, but me and you, we're all cool.
Define all cool.
Oh,
We're good. I have no trouble with you. I still feel the same way about you that I've always felt.
Right, I'm glad you feel that way.
How about you? How have you been feeling recently? How's the chest?
Oh, it's yeah, it's fine. It's not everything. It's fine.
Blood pressure's going up.
Yeah, it's fine. It doesn't really trouble me much anymore.
No, but I feel like there's going to be a time when it will again. So
And I will deal
don't
with
say
that
you'll
when-
deal with it, and we will cross it when it
Yeah.
comes to that point.
I made a few changes. I don't know if people have noticed, but
I mean, like being a punk rocker with flowers in your hair.
I do have flowers in my hair. Yeah, and I wish I was for a long while. I need.
I don't need to ask questions. People do
I'm-
what they want to do.
Well, people seem to. Well, I say people. It's mainly Gus and Yorick. Although I've worked on Yorick, and that's all good now. But Gus is really angry. That's very unlike Gus. He doesn't normally think anything. Never mind bad things.
That's a matter of perspective, but I understand where they're both coming from.
The way I
Following-
see it is I was merely trying to give us the best chance as a group by diversifying, you know? And if I'm being really honest, I need to have a word with, can't even remember her name, Scenario. Because if I'm going to do this, I need to do it properly. So I need to find out. I know it's too late, but I kind of need to find out what I've got myself involved with.
Yes, but also you can't find out by demanding power straight away. You might have
I
seen,
know.
but I've had to ask for mine in quite dire situations of recently, and I have to put some work in to gain more, or
How's
to
that?
gain
How's that
control
working
over
out
them.
for you?
Well, at the minute, not too good because we've kind of been one tight-knit group, not around people I can speak to.
Fine. There
But-
is.
I'm happy to put the work in. I've never been one to following deities. The temple was more of a place to find myself and know what was going on.
Mm.
Didn't really follow anybody. It was just following the rules of the temple.
What's your knowledge of all the gods? I know you like books and stuff. You did a lot of reading, and I know you like to draw maps and weird stuff.
Not too great. I mean, this world, as we know, hasn't had gods for a long time. And
Ma-
writings of them were very hard to come by. Most of what
Ma-
I know is from what we've learned.
Maybe you could do me a favour then.
What's that?
You're quite close with Melissa. Melissa seems to know a lot. Being, well, don't think she's a devil worshipper anymore, but she obviously had some connections there. Can you find out what she knows about Scenario?
For you, I will do my best.
Don't tell her I sent you. I mean, she'll probably know, but I'm trying not to cause issues, but I seem to cause issues wherever I go.
I think we all do that, don't we?
Well, I
group
mean, you
works so
cause
well
more
together.
issues because you managed to die 3 times in a fight, but you know, that's just you, and that's why we love you.
I am still here, and I would rather have done that to give you all the greatest chance to survive.
You're welcome. I mean, I did
And-
save you twice, but you know.
For that, I love you too.
No, I said we. I didn't say me. I said we as a group. I just want to make that clear.
Mr. Commitment Phobe.
No, it's complicated. Okay, well, I'm glad you're alive.
Thank you.
Cool. I would like the pair of you, if you don't already have it, to have inspiration.
I don't.
Haven't
Thank
ever
you.
use it.
Okay, so unless there's anything else, I'm assuming, Celeste, you want to encourage people to strap you into the cart, harness you up,
Yep.
so you can try pulling. Okay.
I would laugh so much if we strap her in and then her wild shape runs out.
It's 7 hours, so I
Yeah, I
don't think
know,
we've been
but-
going that long.
That would have been
Well, you
very
spent
funny.
6 hours running away from it. So.
Yeah, I'll go over. I'm the least affected as far as I'm aware, so I will go over and attach ropes to Celeste if need be, using maybe some like bedding or something to soften the rope against the
Yeah, yeah. Good
skin.
Yeah.
Do you need a
Nice.
quarter staff as well, or
Not just yet.
Okay. Yeah, easily done. Celeste, as you're being tied to this cart, I want you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
But just a normal one.
Straight roll. The presence of Florian is quite calming. Oh dear.
I'm going to use my inspiration.
Go on then. That's how you do it, Dan. You use your inspiration.
Okay. Natural 20.
Natural 20. Okay, cool. So,
I was going to say it'd be funny if you wait until she was strapped in and then failed.
yeah.
No, all the way back
cheating.
to Dag Hold. One turn. Sorted.
Yeah. So, you are strapped into this thing. You are confident you can pull it. I'd like a strength check, please. DC is, let's see, now we're going uphill, so we're going to go with 20 because there's a bit of rubble strewn about.
Dead on.
Dead on. Okay. It's a bit tricky to start with, to get it moving. As everybody knows, it's tricky to get moving. Once it's moving, however, it seems to be a little easier. And you manage to, because you've run through this tunnel several times, you kind of
I
know
know where all the pit traps and
you
everything are.
know where
it's
all the
due diligence. That's
the-
what it is.
yeah, the bits of rubble, you know which bits to avoid and which bits you can go round, and so yeah, I'll say you pull this pretty easily for the next half an hour.
I get a bit of string and attach it to the end of my quarterstaff, and then to the other end of the string, I put a carrot and walk in front of Celeste.
Celeste kicks you to death with her hooves.
Yeah.
So, you've managed to get this up half an hour or so. Make me a con save.
Save.
No, sorry, Constitution check. Apologies.
10.
10. Oof. Okay. Anybody watching the horse can see there's quite a lather on it. It's Celeste is starting to struggle here, going up this hill in this confined space.
Are there any sizable rocks, which are manageable to carry, but to like put behind the wheels?
Sure. Yeah, you could get some rocks to use as chocks. Chock rocks, as it were.
Yarrick, get a big enough rock and put one behind that wheel. I'll go to the other one, just so it doesn't fall back down again.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, nice. Oh, Celeste, you are tired, pretty tired. You think you could probably do with us tagging someone else in. So as you come to a halt, the guys put the chocks under the wheels.
And I'll go to Celeste again, and because I tied it up, I will untie the ropes and everything.
Okay.
Jolada, Yark, do you want to go again?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So, strength checks, please. Strong boys. DC still 20.
And it's just a straight roll this time, isn't it?
It is a straight roll, yes. Unless Firenze has decided to cast a spell on you.
He's still very sort of out of it a little bit.
So what do we get?
18.
18
15.
and a 15. Oof. As you both step in to pull this thing, you try your hardest, but it's just not going well. Trelodor, you get a little bit further than Yorick, but even so, it's not moving off the chocks. It's just too steep at this moment to try and get it moving with the pair of you.
Melissa, do you want to give him a hand?
Yeah.
Double this up and give it a go.
Are you going to start pulling on the ropes, or are you going to push the car? What's the plan?
I'm going to get behind and push whilst they're pulling.
Yeah, I'll do the same.
Okay, so first off, I need you both to do wisdom saves.
I can do something.
Because you're very, very close to this.
29.
29. Nice.
Wisdom,
Not a problem.
20 on the dot.
Yeah. Okay. So you two feel this power, this evil darkness, coldness, but you felt it before. You know what's going on. So strength checks from all four of you, please. Yeah. Okay. So sorry. What we're going to do is we'll do a group strength check. So all four of you roll. DC
I had that thing which would improve my strength, but that was my old oath.
Oops.
Changing gods, eh?
Ah, well. You will be flighty.
Yeah.
I'll say with all four of you rolling, I'm going to lower the DC to, let's go with 17.
Really annoying. I need to roll again. It's cocked, and it's cocked between a natural 20 and an 8.
We got to honour the cock.
Yeah.
I got a 60.
Oh, natural 20!
That's 20. Nice.
That's handy.
What else do we get?
22.
22. Melissa?
17.
17. Eek. Yorick?
16.
16. Okay. So, 3 of you made it. And with a natural 20, I'll say, Florian, you're pushing on the side that Yorick is. Wasn't by design, just by accident. You got that side, and Melissa got the other side, and you, all four of you, managed to get this cart moving once more. Yet, are you playing once more? Yeah? Give me a performance check with advantage then, please.
Yeah, I know how well on wisdom rolls I do. I'm best off not going near that cart.
I just imagine it's like the video to like Welcome to the Black Parade.
31.
I would love myself a jacket like that. 31. Better again.
31.
Yeah.
The music is awesome. You all feel invigorated. I will say everyone can have a D8 bardic. If you already have a D6 because you didn't use it yet, you now have both.
Oh, yeah, good.
Dang.
Begin to sting the same song that he taught Gus, because it seems to fit the music.
Okay.
It's like, fuck it, why not? I can't really be useful in any other way, so I'm going to do this instead.
Okay. Make a performance check.
Oh, I'm going to use my D8 as well. Yep, I'll take that. That's a 10... 11, 12, 13... 15.
15. Yeah. There's a sort of... Yeah, as you're playing and you've used the acoustics of this tunnel before, and you've got the hang of this now, you are a maestro at this. You can hear Ferenz trying to join with the draconic song he was singing, the sort of funereal song of mourning and loss. And it's not quite fitting. So you, being the consummate performer you are, change your tune to fit that. So instead of it being that sort of weird, slightly discordant sound, you bring that Ferenz's voice into your playing and lift it. And this is absolutely beautiful. Everybody is feeling much more enlivened, stronger, cheerier. Even though this is a funereal type song about loss, it is uplifting to everyone concerned. I will say you get to the outskirts of the city with no further problems. It sort of levels out after this difficult part, and you have no problem in the four of you pushing this cart along. You go through to the city gates, and as you get there you can see the normal patrol is up on the gate. They see you coming, and that's where we'll end it for today. Hey, I know it wasn't exciting and killing dragons, but
No.
it was a thing we had to do. We had to get the big evil stone.
Pushed a rock.
You did. You pushed it very
Pulled a
well.
rock.
Some people ran away from
No,
it
I'll
really,
sit
really
as
well,
well.
but you know.
Important scouting missions must be done.
We all played our part, but it was a group effort there.
We didn't too.
Sorry, say again, James.
It's a shame we didn't have a bag of holding to stick it into.
Yeah, that would have been nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would have gone well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it would have been fine. What could possibly go wrong?
And another Mr. Bags is born.
Yeah.
I miss Mr. Bags.
Yes,
And Mr. Bags, of course.
Mr. Bags and Mr. Bags.
Of course, Mr. Bags and Mr. Bags.
Obviously. Debbie's
I know,
getting
but
very
without-
confused now.
Hmm.
There was an incident with a bag of holding that they put another pocket dimension into. And it created a being called Mr. Bags and Mr. Bags.
Then, of course, I decided to put a bomb in there and blow it up
Yeah.
by
Which
accident.
was left in the hand of the bard with a very low intelligence.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
all went well.
Yeah, it went about as well as you could expect.
Hey, leave him alone. He did his best.
The best bit of that, just all of that in general, was the fact that James managed to trick us with the mage hand playing Tone's drum
Oh, yeah.
That
for
was
like
The entire
2/3 of
campaign.
the entire campaign.
Yeah,
No,
that
it's
was-
still
that was
too real.
hilarious.
I
was
still
so
have
good.
stress nightmares about it.
So anyway, we will pick up this. Actually, conspiracy theories, anyone? Before we go into our leaving speech.
I think that Celeste is actually a chicken, not a horse.
Right. Yeah. I mean, evidence could point that way. Yeah.
I'm just too pure. That's what it is.
It's an elven scaredy cat. Yeah.
It just struck me a little bit weird that, yes, you have to leave something from a monster of that magnitude behind, but it just struck me a little bit weird from Shine's maybe put it back where we found her, almost as if it could be used as a conduit to bring her back.
Yeah. I
Interesting.
mean, I had that exact same thought in my head. That's why my hand was hovering over the ceremony button, because there's a version of ceremony where you can prevent anything from being kind of brought back for 7 days, short of the spell wish. So it does feel like something along the lines of these beings are so inexorably tied to the world that it's impossible to actually fully get rid of them. I feel like the same thing would happen, and possibly the same thing happened with Shine in his slumber, and possibly the same thing would happen with Zenariel and Asmodeus if we ever stood a chance against them, which I don't think we would.
Indeed. Interesting points, all of them.
I think if left where it was, it would just start to corrupt the things around it.
Conspiracy theory. Ardiac sent her a bit loopy. On purpose.
Possibly.
That's an interesting thought as well.
The comparison to Ardiac was there, but I think that was more of a this is how dark and spooky and the vibes are, because this party is
That was
scared, terrified of Ardiac.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of what I was going for. I wasn't really linking the two. I was just providing context for the amount of
Comparison.
chill and... Yeah. But yeah, it's a good
almost-
conspiracy thought, for sure.
I pictured it as when you said it's like it was corrupting the area. I pictured it as sort of like Final Fantasy 16 style with the crystals and
Yeah.
like everything.
It was literally, the stone was turning black around the edges where it was touching it.
Basically become Yonk Saron.
I mean, could be.
Saronite, yeah.
Unless it was Sarai, you just don't know, do you?
I know.
My biggest thing
Right,
is
so-
how the hell are we going to get that thing down hundreds of feet to the door in the chamber with all the lava.
Well, I was just having a thought about that, and I have elementals that I can conjure.
We
Just
have
put
a
a section over the edge and hope for the best.
We have an entire series. We have an entire city full of dwarves with many, many ropes and pulleys.
I was about to say that we now have
That is
dwarves,
true.
many dwarves.
Very,
that
very
what-
useful resource.
It's that, or ask someone to cast levitate on it and just push.
But yeah, I can summon an earth elemental that's pretty strong and hardy, so that could possibly work as well.
Is also good at getting ahead.
Yes, could be. So, yeah, all of these theories are interesting. How you choose to get the bad evil rock down into the cave where you're supposed to,
The bad evil lair.
you've got a week to think about that. Feel free to.
We have to reopen that door again.
Am I going to have
There
to
is
add
that.
Big Scary
was
Rock
already
to the
open.
list of villains that we have to deal with in the title of our WhatsApp group?
Yeah.
Yeah, we wouldn't need to open the door because that was smashed open by Carabas escaping.
Was it though?
I would assume so.
We haven't
Assumptions
seen it,
mother
to be
of all
sure.
fuck-ups, but
I mean,
yeah.
you'll find out when you go and have a look.
Mm.
Yeah, the current name of that WhatsApp group is Operation Stop Vienna /Ardiac /Ganlarod /Amash /Belial /Peladas /Caraves.
Well, we stopped Carabas for the moment.
And we stopped Amash for the moment. And Ganlarod, I
Ganlarod.
think, is dealt with, but the others we still need to handle. We've got a nice list of enemies to deal with.
Lovely. Well, thank you all very
You
much.
guys say you
Like to get a couple of enemies.
Sorry, say again.
Yeah, you guys say you collect enemies in my campaign. It's nowhere near that long.
No.
Well, someone's had to restart our list, so you know.
Oof, still a bit salty about that. Come on, it was one character death. My word.
Well, no, the problem is that like Salvia would have like had a list of enemies based on that guy looked at me funny. Whereas Morgrax would like, oh, they're just having a bad day. I'll make them a cup of tea.
And,
If I remember correctly, Salvio had the opportunity to come back, but she just went, nah.
I rolled the dice.
At least you
Salvio
had
Like,
the
did it
opportunity
my
to be
fate.
there when your character died. That's all I'm going to say.
The salt, my word.
I said
Martin,
at
I
least,
feel so sorry for you, mate, because, you know, they're all like,
That's how the
"Ooh."
Morgrax are going to mysteriously die. I
You
think.
kill two characters in the space of 30 minutes, and
You
no one
know,
lets it go.
it's outrageous. Okay,
Absolutely.
thank you all very much for playing. You are all, as ever, wonderful people. I love you very much, all of you. You are fabulous. Have a fantastic week. We, of course, will be back here on Sunday for the investigators, doing investigatory things. We will also be back here, of course, next Tuesday for Miet's recap of this and to find out how they move the big evil rock about through the city of Daghold. Should be interesting, shouldn't it? So,
I think
yeah,
we should do it in song form as she was singing for all that.
I mean,
No, trust me, Dan, you don't want that. Nobody wants that.
So, all I'm going to say is, if you liked it, thank you very much. You're amazing. We hope you come along for the ride. We think you're brilliant. If you didn't like it, however, well, off you fuck.